Right, welcome ladies and gents. Got back from watching Black Adam, compiled my thoughts and bringing you my review. So first and foremost, let's start with lots and lots of positives. Because there are quite a few actually for this film. It's quite entertaining. It's an entertaining film. It is well acted, all round. Relatively so. The CGI, not bad. Not bad at all. Marvel has had quite a lot of CGI problems of late. DC has had some as well. This seemingly is pushing that in a better direction now. So I'm happier with the CGI than I have been in a lot of superhero films on both sides of this sort of tribalistic ground we're standing on. Dwayne Johnson makes a fantastic Black Adam. Really good Black Adam, actually. Pierce Brosnan, a really great Dr. Fate. Really good. That's kind of where the positives have to end. It's an entertaining film. I think your kids will really enjoy it. But I think those wanting something worth the 10 odd years wait that this film has been in the works for, because it's been in the works for a really long time, I think you're going to struggle with this, just a little bit. Now, again, it's an entertaining film, but it's if you wanted more. So just as an FYI, because loads of people go, oh, you're hating on the film. I'm not hating on the film. It's entertaining. You'll be entertained. But if you wanted something more for the 10-year wait, then I think you'll be a bit disappointed. And rightfully so as well. This film suffers massively from what can only be described as DC, Warner Brothers, Discovery, whoever it is, trying to use this movie as a vehicle to shoehorn in the JSA, the Justice Society of America. And it adds to this very disjointed narrative. Now, and not only that, it's hard to root for the JSA because Black Adam, Kandak, and the people of Kandak raise some very good points. Hold on. You want Black Adam to kneel for you? You're apparently the heroes. He's trying to save us. We're oppressed. You know we're oppressed. And you've not come to help us. Doesn't make you want to root for them. Now, I know that that's because this film is treading a really fine line between having Black Adam as an anti-hero and then obviously still having a villain for the film. And then heroes that have to come in and sort of touch on the moral ground to, move Black Adam towards them. But it doesn't really line up. And you could have had the same outcome of Black Adam choosing to save the day without the JSA being there. And this is what I mean, is I think that this film became a vehicle to introduce the JSA. But they've done it in such a way that you look at it and you go, you know what, I actually don't really care for them that much. Noah Centineo, we absolutely dodged a bullet with him because he was going to be playing He-Man. He's no He-Man. He's very much Prince Adam, but he's not a He-Man. He plays Atom Smasher in this. A bit green in the gills, very new to the game. His uncle passed it down, his suit and the powers, etc. Good. His effects were really good. The CGI overall was actually genuinely decent in this film, and that's quite high praise because most superhero films now suffer tragic CGI. So Atom Smasher was really good. Cyclone, Tornado, the Spinny Woman, good. Still not overly sure how useful she is, but good effects, sort of the green and stuff. It adds a sort of psychedelic cosmic nature. It was really cool. I liked that. And then bouncing off one another worked really well. Atom Smasher and Cyclone, Tornado, whatever her name is. Hawkman is supposed to be an arsehole in this, and he is an arsehole. But again, and Pierce Brosnan was great as Dr. Fate. Funnier than I thought he would be. and very, very good, and the effects were very good, and his voice was great because it's augmented when he's wearing the helmet, the mask and stuff. So I really like that. But again, this film suffers because they're injected into it. And because they're injected into it, we don't see enough of Black Adam. And this movie is carried by Dwayne Johnson's rather large shoulders. He holds this movie up. He's very good as Black Adam, but we don't get to see enough of him. We don't get to see enough of his performance, his range, him as a character. And I think this is because, again, DC are choosing to tread this fine line between what could have been an R-rated film, although I know that, you know, the MPAA originally rated it R and they had to tone it down. So it looks like this could have been a much more adult-themed film, but I know DC is catering to children as well. I get it. But it's when you're trying to teeter on the edge of both that it does suffer. This could have been a really good character exploration of this, you know, former slave. Now again, this is just my judgment on what it could have been. But that's only because it's there. It's there in the script. We can see it. You know? Dr. Fate stands before him and says, you will kneel, kneel before us or die, basically. And he's like, no, I was a slave and I'm not going to die. And obviously goes on a rampage, right? And so there's this interesting dialogue where you could have explored something really deep. Even for kids, you could have explored it quite deeply as well. But, again, the problem with this movie is there's not enough of Black Adam. Him bouncing off the people of Kandak could have been the narrative to push you forward with him being, crossing the moral ground. From bad to good, to then, embracing himself as who he is as opposed to what the world expects him to be. So, it just suffers. And the thing is, good third act. But that's not saying much when you've got to get through the first 2/3 to get there. I was still entertained, but it's a long old film for a film like this. And again, I go back to it being a byproduct of them shoehorning in the JSA, the Justice Society of America. That being shoehorned in really, it may never have been shoehorned in, right? It may never have happened. But this film's 10 years in the making. I don't understand why it has such pace problems for 10 years in the making. It does feel like it's gone through multiple rounds of rewrites, which, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised if it had been, because of course DC's been going through multiple rounds of rewrites with wherever they're going with their direction. So, thing about this movie is you'll be entertained, you will enjoy it. It's a good popcorn flick. It's a bit Marvel Phase 1-ish. It's a different tone to most DC films, but a good one. It moves it in a better direction. So I'm keen to see where they go with this now sort of reset DC universe. But could have been better. And I think because you know it could be better, you're holding on to the promise of what it could be, as opposed to rating it as it is. And as it is, it's merely mildly entertaining. But you will be entertained. So I'm not trying to be super, super negative. And the CGI, I tell you what, I keep thinking about it. CGI was bloody good. We have our CGI villain at the end. Entirely CGI, maybe motion capture, whoever, whatever. But it's digitally created. And I was really impressed with that. I go from some DC movies, awful CGI. Marvel movies, awful CGI. And then we come to this and I'm like, you know what, actually that was bloody good. By comparison, that was bloody good. So, there you have it. Music could have been better as well. Music seemed really underwhelming in this. And we seem to be sort of bitten at DC with this bug from the Suicide Squad to have, like, normal tracks thrown in there. Stop spending your license on tracks. Now, it might be because of Warner Music, but just stop it, right? Stop it. I don't want to hear Smashing Pumpkins come through. I like, Smashing Pumpkins are fine, but I don't want to hear them in my Black Adam movie, alright? Anyway, if you've seen it, let me know what you think. I think this movie will do reasonably well opening weekend. I don't know if this will hit what David Zaslav wants it to hit, but it's entertaining. I think it's the wrong month for it as well. Not that there's anything major coming out this month, so maybe it's good kind of programming for all the horror films that are out there. So as adults go watch horror films, people take their kids to watch a superhero. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think down below. Cheers, guys. Take care.